bit of an update on the floors. The rear one on the driver's side is half glassed in. Done one bit, ran out of resin that it was mixed, so I'll mix up some more, finish the last bit over the top of that. Thankfully the driver's one at the front did release. It was a bit of a mission, but it's out. Passenger ones are both out, obviously. That's the passenger front one, which is now glassed from behind, so it's very, very stiff. And started putting some bog on it. Need to go to work and try and finish cutting the holes where the seat base bolt down. And driver's side one, which is basically just first coat of glass. I'll put a few more bits on it to strengthen it, and then I need to do the footrest. So I'll mould that in, cut the holes for where the seat sits. Left side rear one is all in bog, basically to sand that bit out, and then it's ready for primer. So it's been a while between drinks. Over winter, really got nothing done. Orange weather just doesn't allow for fiberglassing or bogging outside. By the 5 o'clock it's dark and 0 to -5 degrees, and it's really not ideal. Been chipping away a couple of things at work on the floors, just putting in some bog in places and sort of finishing and making fit, but really didn't achieve for a couple of months. The last few weeks have been hard at it, trying to get this back wall done. So the top panel's now all moulded into the sides. The middle panel, which carries the processor, the cover for those and the subs are in primer ready for painting, and the grille that goes down the bottom, which lets the air through for the sub, that'll be silver as well. It's sort of the addition for what was done previously, but the rest of it's basically the same. All the sides all moulded in, new side panels, and all the way up in there. Try and hide all the gaps, make it all nice and neat. So those panels will all be black vinyl, and then the pillar trims, which are currently silver, will be repainted so they're a lot smoother, get rid of the texture in them, and then they will be airbrushed to match. They were never done previously, but it was something that Jamie said to me that he sort of wanted to do, so this continues the theme of the whole interior being done. Obviously the fiberglass roof, that can now be painted, airbrushed to match. So short-term goal is to get the back panel all trimmed up and the covers painted silver, because there's no airbrushing on those. So the owner's here in about a week or so, so just want to have it looking like the back wall is complete. Ideally, if I get some time over the next week, I'll try and get the floor panels all smoothed out and in primer, so that at least it all looks uniformed. So the gaps that are between them, they'll just be black carpet. It's pointless making fiberglass under there when you're never ever going to see it unless you put your head under the seat, and no one's going to be climbing in this very quickly. So that's where we're up to. The tray hasn't really changed much. That's all still as it was. We'll get stuck into that once the interior is done, get the airbags. I've run a few of the airbag lines, mounted everything up in there. So that'll be the next project, is get the airbags set up working. I have made the fascia for the console, which is currently at work. So I need to finish a couple of things on the floors and get the console back in properly, and then keep going on the rest of it. Rightio, today's plan, try and get the floor on the front finished. That corner must have moved a little bit when the fiberglass and bog went on it, and unbeknown to me, the seat gets very, very close to the tunnel when you slide it forward, which I'm guessing is why that notch is sort of there. Even though I sort of followed it, I did have a couple of layers of sound deadener there. So I've dug that out, chopped the corner off. I'm going to re-glass it to get every square millimetre possible so the seat doesn't hit it. The old floor's got some quite big scratches in it, which I'm guessing wasn't really accounted for originally. So if you slide the seat forward, which is probably never going to happen with a tall owner anyway, but to get access to the stuff behind there, it will inevitably happen, and I don't really want scratches in the brand new floor. So the rest of it's all sort of bogged up. I'll sand that out, make it match the kick panel nicely, get the rest of it sorted out. We've got 2 panels now trimmed up. So the grille for the bottom where the sub comes through, that's all done. Follows the pillar nicely, so the bottom one's just got to finish a couple of little gaps in there, bolt them up nice and neat, so they've got to be pretty much perfect because they're painted. And then work out how I'm going to trim all this and have the wiring covered so the seat doesn't hit any of it, which is going to be a bit of a problem, but we shall sort that one out. The top panel going to trim today, and hopefully can get the 2 covers painted in the next few days so that it's ready for the owner to come and have a look at the end of the week. So that's where we're at. So I'm gonna get some glassing done and then keep doing some sanding and try and get these floors in primer. Alrighty, so after a busy day, now have the rest of that front floor fiberglassed in. It clears the seat, so there's no more touching, no more scratching once it has to go in there. The seat has to slide forward to get the rear bolts in it, so if it does mark it, it'll be there permanently. So I'm going to make sure it doesn't hit it now so that we don't have any problems in the future. Got the center console back in, tweaked the side of the floor so that fits in nicely now. Finished the rear one-ish so that the gap where they meet up is there, and test fitted the seat base just so that I can make sure the holes are in the right spot so that they're lined up. So just got to tidy up those a little bit. We now have the top panel trimmed up. So that's all done. Thanks to Wayne for Street Trim for giving me a hand to do that, because those corners were not the best thing to try and trim up, but he managed to get his head around it and got that all nicely smoothed in, so it's got no pressure anywhere. So the trim is nice, matches to the roof all the way around, so no gaps. Just need to paint the cover for the processor and cover for the subs, and then that's basically the back wall finished. Bottom corners and the sills, they're all finished, ready for priming and paint. So just got to sort out the bit around the back of the console to hide the wires. I've got the passenger seat in to check that one as well for all the holes, so they're done. All the floor in the front, that side's all done. So that's where we're up to. Just got a couple of little bits of bog to put in the rest of the floor pieces. Continue sanding and try and get them all in primer in the next few days if possible. Otherwise, we'll be going to Bathurst and it'll probably stay like this and the owner can come and have a look. And then we'll keep going after Bathurst and keep knocking it out. So it's been about 3 months since the last video that I filmed in this. As you can see, all the floors are now primed. All the sides, all the plastic trims that run up in the pillars, all that's all done. A few pieces still at Luke's place that are prime, ready to go. Both sides are done. Driver's side is all fully fitted in there, so it fits real nice. Trim pieces drop down. I haven't got any clips in that yet. There's a couple of gaps I need to fill up when I put some foam in when I put it together after it's all painted. The main one was filling around the back of the console. I didn't want us to be able to see any wiring that run up there. Had to leave room for the lid to open. So they're going to be trimmed in black vinyl, so that side's ready to go. The cover on the other side will be removable so that we can still get to the wiring for the module. There is a screw holding it together just so that it can't fall out and get jammed under a seat or something silly. But that's where interior is now up to. So basically all that's in primer. We can now just prep it, and then once I can get Wayne here, then we can get all the interior pieces painted all in one go. So that'll be really cool to see. Other than that, not much is really happening. It's just been lots of little jobs which have been very hard to try and film, so just been ticking away getting them all finished up. Have been very, very busy the last couple of months trying to get a Ute finish, the 4-year build for Summonets. That was an unveil, so I chucked a video in here of about I think it was a few weeks before Summonets. So we finished that off and got that up to Canberra for the unveil, and it went top 20. So because I've been doing a lot of hours on that, haven't really had time to work on this, which I told the owner, and we couldn't really do much about it. But now we're full steam ahead to try and get the rest of it done. So just over 3 weeks until unveil, and we're a little bit behind probably. Chassis is pretty much done. The engine, box, tail shaft, diff, all the suspension, pretty much rolling chassis ready to go. Today's fire up day. Check everything, make sure it's all good to go. Put the blower on, apron's done. Got to paint, prep that, polish it, same as the guards. All ready to go back together. And then we just got to wire it all, put all the interior in. So for the most part, everything's here, painted, ready to go, just got to put it all together. Got that shine going on. Extractor's Cerakoted. Old timber trays going in the bin, too many cracks in it. Humidity's absolutely destroyed it. So new idea is aluminium sandwich plate. I don't know what it's called, aluminium with a plastic rubber between it. So we've got 2 layers of that, so that'll be painted. That'll be the tray. We've got quite a bit of work to do in 3 weeks, but we're on it.